Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this and I thought I'd share it with you because there are some certain things that you see, you start asking questions, and I am asking, why did a 69-year-old man come out to say something like this? His name is Lindsey Graham, and he is a senator. I mean, this man has been serving since 2023 to this very moment, and he is a Republican Party. He is still serving. And I am asking, why would a full-grown adult, full-grown old man come out to say something like this? And for those that will be asking, what did he say? I mean, let us know. He actually said that he prefers to help Israel instead of helping hurricane victims in South Carolina. And I am saying this must really be one of the craziest things you hear people say. I mean, for a sitting senator to say something like this, it means that I mean, like, it isn't kind of wild, because I do not see how people would rather be nice outside instead of starting from home. And I am asking, why would you not help the hurricane victims? Now, with everything going around, some people, I mean, like, it's really a very great, a great loss, actually, because some people lost families, lost almost all their houses and all that, all gone. And a sitting senator is saying that he would rather give out things to outsiders instead of helping his own people. Let's get into this.
You know, what baffles me is the lack of disrespect that Americans have over another American. Now, in South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, and even in Georgia and various parts in the southern parts of the border of America, they had a crisis, a natural disaster crisis, similar to Hawaii, Ohio, Mississippi, and many others through the recent years, and even before and after. You mean to tell me that this senator is sitting there worrying about Israel? Israel is the least of America's problem right now. You have fellow Americans that, whether they pay taxes or not, they're in crisis. There was a man crying his eyes out because he was explaining how a job was forcing him to go to work and his staff members to go to work, because they specifically told them if they don't come to work, they're going to be automatically fired. And there was a natural disaster was taking place. Now they can't find some of those people. There was a woman that was crying her eyes out, and just like half of the people them in the southern states, stating that they don't have nowhere to live. They're homeless because the crisis with the hurricane. Helen came and teared up a lot of people's homes, where you saw people were basically swinging in rafters. Some people were on top of their roofs waiting for helicopters. There was a man who was doing his own rescue team to help people, and they told him to stop. Okay? Remind you, he was taking his airplane to pretty much help people to be in a safe and landing place. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You had the vice president making a public announcement, and to tell you the truth, she was just only the messenger. All right? It was not, you guys got to understand, she's a vice president. It's maybe in her cabinet, but it's authorized, honestly, through the people of FEMA. They said that they're maxed out with their money, considering what they gave to the migrants. And they can only give the people them temporarily for just assistance alone, $750. Now, the rest of the funding, they say they may not have because they're tapped out. Okay, people are looking at the fact that United States tax-paying money went straight to the immigration, which was not our crisis. It went straight to foreign affairs, which was not our crisis, Israel and Ukraine. And remind you, Israel had made a fundraiser where they received billions of dollars. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm listening to the Senator, Lindsey Graham, saying that his distress is on Israel. And he said, look at them, it's like Holocaust again. So what about the people them in Palestine? So what was that? What was that? If that wasn't torturement, then I don't know what torturement is. My thing is, United States play deaf, dumb, and stupid. And I'm talking about the government. You guys literally invest in the wrong investments. Instead of investing on your people, and remind you, people had elected you. And you know something? Some people say they don't even know how these senators became senators. Because honestly, they never reclaimed having election time for them coming in. And that's another thing. If you guys can have Nancy Pelosi as a House Speaker, I don't even know how she became a House Speaker. And then the next minute she stepped down, but she still mediates in the White House and still receive a salary, even though she has a net worth of $1 billion business. And then each of these senators have $1 billion business, and they all invest in foreign affairs. So that's where their main concern is. Their concern is not about America. So you leave us high and dry. So that leads us to do what? Not to pay our bills anymore. Why should we pay our bills when you guys are taking the money and throwing it away out the window? Why don't we save our money so in case of crisis like this, then we will know what to do and fix up our places? It makes sense, right? Don't insult us by talking about Israel. We are not concerned about Israel right now. We're concerned about what's happening in America, in our backyard. United States treats us like we're their stepchildren or we're foster kids. At least foster kids get a stipend until they reach 18 or 21. But you guys treat us like we're third class citizens. That you take the money and use it on foolishness. Then when we need the money, you're nowhere to be found. I mean, we're going to have to start taking you guys for child support. Or spousal support, or some kind of support. Because you're not supporting us. Look around the infrastructure of America. Look around the roads. Looking around certain places. Some places look like third world countries. And if this is supposed to be America, and you guys are taking the money and giving it to foreign affairs. And you're stealing from other countries. But you're not even giving it back to support the people here. Make that make sense. I understand that you guys do not care about us because you're making it perfectly loud and cloud and whatever. But you come on TV to change the station. Like, other words, you're saying that your main concern is about Israel. It's not about us. You worry about the safety and security of Israel, but not the safety and security of your home. Unhumane. We live in an unhumane society. We live in a society where people are really literally showing their truth of narcissism. You know, if we had a choice, we would eliminate some of you guys out of office because you guys are not doing the job that you're supposed to be doing. We need to fire you guys. We need to tell you guys to step down. First of all, you reach an age requirement where you can retire. And we can give somebody that's feasible that can do the job. And I think everybody from this situation should come as a collective and tell some of y'all to resign. Because you're not doing the qualifications that you need to do. Whether you're a senator, a judge, or even executive of chief. And I'll never forget this one. Because people were complaining about the racism in the police department and how the cops are not giving the society, making the society feel like they're unhumane and not giving decency and respect. He said if we have a problem with cops, then we should call a crackhead. You know, these are the type of situations that we have to go through with the prejudice and the fascistness and the lack of ignorance with some of these senators. So I'm saying to myself, like, you're getting a salary out of taxpaying money, And then you're telling, because you can't keep your police officers in line and teach them and limit to tame themselves and learn how to control the population, and people are complaining, you turn around and saying that we should call a crackhead. Then again, we should call a crackhead. At least the crackhead will come and do us a service more faster than a police officer. And we know the intentions of a crackhead. But these are the type of scenarios that we're dealing with. People that come into office and do nothing but foolishness. We have Mitch McConnell, when they asked him about reparations, he said we don't need reparations. Meanwhile, you have a wife that comes from a foreign descendant. You understand? Where her family and her side of her descendant received compensation of what was taking place in this country and what they had done to her people. And meanwhile, gave her a position, during the Trump administration. But when she was doing transportations and running import, export and stuff, and you guys became millionaires, lately is only because he got sick. But when he was running it, come to find out, he was receiving funding and stuff like that, and he wasn't even helping. And he was the major spokesperson for the GOP, for the Republican committee. So, he had, hands down, it was only for the rich, never for the destitute or the poor or the average class. So these are the type of people we deal with, and there's more of them. No matter what their age group is, there's more of them. Thank God he retired.
What up, guys? Kevin West 10 TV. Correction on my last video, just have to blow your top off. The reason why FEMA doesn't have any money is the Republicans voted no on funding FEMA. The Category 4 storm was coming in, and the states that it did hit, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee, all the Republicans from those states, they voted no on giving FEMA money for the hurricane. So it's not on the current administration. They had a vote, like they usually do, to fund this and to fund that. They said no. So the only thing I can think of in my head, they wanted the current administration to look bad in front of the American public. So they said, no, we ain't going to give y'all no money. I mean, that's literally playing with people's lives. And I'm sorry for anybody that's a Republican on my platform to follow me and all that kind of stuff like that. But this is the truth. You can fact check it. You can Google it. Do whatever you got to do. Look at the documents up on whatever site you want to look it up on. That's exactly what happened. I done checked several different sources, and that's the absolute truth. And the only thing I can say, they playing politics with people's lives. Peace. What up, guys? Kevin West 10 TV. Correction on my last video, just have to blow your top.
I understand, and thank you for the info. I know that they have to go in both sides of the team, have to be in neutral, have to have all hands up to agree and come unanimous vote for them to allow these funds to be released. But sometimes I believe that the Republicans, to me, are too damn selfish. Even with our Social Security, it should not be no damn vote. That's our fucking money. Okay? Y'all should not be voting for that at all. It should not be a vote when there's natural disasters, especially the situation with Hurricane Helen. Okay? There should not be a vote for people to get their funds as far as for disability funds as a veteran, or even COVID-19, or any of the assessments when there is a natural disaster. There should be some kind of clause in the law that emergency funds should be released based on the emergency which we can see, whether it's natural disaster, a pandemic, or even a fire crisis or some situation. Secondly, the people in the Senate, when they get a budget sent to them in their local towns, cities, and sector, where did they do with the money? Because honestly, when you look at certain parts in these places, you'll be like, what are they spending the money on? Because they're not spending on hospitals, education, cities, streets, none of that stuff. Okay? So where are they putting the money? Because some of the funds should have been in an emergency fund and building up interest in case of rainy day seasons, which was this situation right here. And if the federal government has to step in, they should have had a federal emergency fund too. They wipe out the bank by giving it to the immigration, to the migrants. Okay? Giving them stipend and a place to stay, but they never thought about what is the safety and security for the fellow Americans that's paying taxes, and even the ones who are naturally born here, and even the ones that's documented as paying bills. But you guys turn around and never made it a vote when you was giving the money to Iran and handing the check to Netanyahu and all his disciples, right? And allowing them to receive and go over there and start an insurrection and starting a war and even starting genocide. Then you guys turned around and gave it to Ukraine, talking about their safety and protection because the Russians are invading them. That's not our problem. Those two incidents was never our problem. Okay? They were not related to us, because I know somewhere in the history books that they're not related to us. They're not a part of America. So why is it that the fact that you gave money to them, okay, even though it's recycled money because they have to pay back the loan, that's if they're going to pay back the loan. But meanwhile, you was giving it to prime ministers in Ghana and even in Jamaica, West Indies, and various parts to tell them to support the LGBTQ. Okay? On behalf of that, to give them safety and security. So what about the safety and security when storms are broken? Because they're saying that there's going to be another storm again. We don't know when, we don't know how. Okay? You think you saved the day with the strike situation, even though that's temporary because they have until January to come up with the final contract to make the final decision? But once again, you guys keep on saying that the Biden and the Harris administration only gave them $750, right? Come to find out, it was the Republican Party that did that. Okay? Sabotage that because they want Trump to win. You see, this is another sequel of the grifters bullshit. And I'm referring to Donald Trump. He have his minions doing his dirty work. And they all working and don't even know what the consequences is going to be left when it happens. And this is what's going to happen. The people are going to start getting bloody hell outrage. And they're going to turn around and put that same fire that you guys have put towards them. And I'm talking metaphorically. Okay? Not literally. Metaphorically. They're going to turn around and start some kind of problem. God forbid, if you guys don't stop what you're doing. And I'm referring to all you rich politicians and people that have money. Y'all want to sit there and want to be dictators and want to control everything. The well is already dry. And I'm talking about with your mission. And every day you make a mission and it never completes. It becomes an impossible. So you thought that you can sabotage by saying no and declining this by not giving the people them funds. After the fact that the people them have paid, and this is money not coming from your pockets, but this is money that's owed to them. Okay? Meanwhile, you guys are living in these states, whether it's Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, all these places. Even when the incident was happening in Ohio, where was the senator? We had the people them from the governor and the local towns talking. But we never seen the senator of Ohio. The same thing with Hawaii. Hawaii, the natives were demanding to get some action and to get some truth. And you guys gave them $700. You might as well spit in their faces. Because that's what you literally did to them. Where they had to find means and collect as a collective and restore back. And try to build back their mansions. And build back their homes. Okay? This is not the colonial times when something burns down, then they can build it back up and find a tree and build up. These are things that people had lost. Precious things to restore back in their homes and have a roof over their heads and take a proper shower. You literally put these people under sickness and bondage. For what? For what? So that you could keep the money, so you could keep on giving it to Ukraine and Israel, places that's not helping us, causing more negative karma to weep back into us. Every hurricane, every fire, every economic problem, I blame it on the fellow legislative and executive and judicial system of this government. You guys turn around, and even local and town and city, you guys turn around and do things to sabotage and bring nothing but negative karma to us in this season. Never a month has been peaceful. Every natural resources and storm have been happening because of the karma that you guys have been sowing to us for not minding your business. Okay? You keep on saying that everybody in the leader of foreign government is a bad guy. What about y'all? Y'all don't even take care of your backyard. You don't even clean it up. You just sit there and allow it to be dry. Then you have the nerve to make a vote to say no, to deny the people them the funds that's coming out of their pockets. So what we should say to y'all is that we're not going to pay bills. We're going to keep our money and save it. And that goes to the insurance company. If you deny us of our claims, then we're not going to pay anymore. Why should we, when you guys are not giving us nothing but zero satisfaction? And it comes to a time that when we work, we want to have safety and security. And if we can't get it like that, and you feel like you want to fire us, but want us to still stay there and work, meanwhile the other people leave, and behind and leave our people, that's where lawsuits going to come out. Okay? You have to think realistically and be mindful, because that's the problem with y'all. You guys let the greediness eat you up that you don't even know how to think anymore. And I'm referring to the government. Then you wonder why people are talking bad about this country, because you guys allow it to be like that. America used to be a strong nation. It used to be a place, a sector to help and build up people. Despite every flaws, it was able enough to have a little bit of growth. But you guys are allowing to put weed in the midst of your growing of your season. All because you're listening to one person that is mass destruction. The mass destruction, the antagonistic person that don't live in a good life. Because if he really did, he would have peace and be humble. But a person like that is never humble, because all his life he was catered. He received an inheritance over $100 million. Not a lot of us had that. He had a gold spoon in his mouth. And that all came from his father stealing other people's legacy. So that's what he learned. So you guys keep on following him and trying to cause problems. All right? Because the problems are going to land into your nest egg. I always believe karma is a way that can go around like a boomerang effect. Some people can get 7 and 10 folds. And keep it up.
So this is all I got from this video, and I am going to start by saying that it's only a crazy person that his house will be burning and he will choose to go and assist his neighbor, right? Why did I say so? Because I really don't understand how Lindsey Graham would just wake up and say that he would rather, or he would prefer to help Israel instead of helping hurricane victims in South Carolina. Like it's, I don't know, boy, it's kind of a crazy thing to say, you know, with everything going on and how people are affected. See, let's forget about some certain things and all that, because I feel like some people that look like me are also affected. But that is a natural disaster. Lives were lost, houses, property. Like literally, some people do not have anything as it stands because of this, right? And why would somebody why would you choose to save or help other people instead of helping help your own people or help people that are already devastated by by Hurricane Helene and all that? I mean, it's kind of a crazy something to say, but yeah, it is what it is. Some people would rather give out their money to people do this, they would rather save other people before saving their own themselves and all that. And I really do not understand how also the Republicans, because here he's saying that Republicans have voted no on hurricane relief. I really don't understand how people will vote no for hurricane relief, because this hurricane relief is just something that we all know that it is pretty very vital. And from what it's going on, it looks like the other people are really working so hard. I mean, I don't know, but politics is just a very crazy game, You really have to be very smart to play that. If you're not smart, I mean, anything can just happen. But you all can see that the other party are really very keen with, like, looking for a way to make the other person look like she is the curse of everything. Some people are blaming her for everything going on and all that, forgetting that that young woman is still not the president of the United States. She is the vice president. And you all have an acting president. Why is it that I barely hear Joe Biden's name? See, I understand. I know a lot of you are always in my comment section. I see all that. Kamala Harris is not a black woman. I know she's biracial, right? But then check out most of the biracials. Like, there must be a mixture of the other side, right? But then that is aside. I know she's biracial. Don't think I do not know, right? And I think since she identified as someone that looked like me, I mean, like, since she started saying, or she identified as also as a black woman, I think her problem tripled. I don't know why, but you all already know what it is. Like, anything that got to do with black person, it's really, it's always a tough one. And she is also not having it easy, because for the fact that she mentioned that black, I mean, some people are not having it, because why would you even say you are black? I mean, do you know what it means to say that you're a black person? So it's also like, making people wake up every day to some certain things. I mean, they feel like that she is the one even causing everything happen to the United States or happen to everybody. Some even say that she's the one that the hurricane, or the stories are really enormous, that they are so huge that I keep asking myself, why do people wake up to, like, say things like this? But then when you turn around, you definitely will find out the party they belong to, because sometimes some people's mindset and how they speak also tells you who their master is, So when they start that and you dig deep, you find out who their master is. I mean, she has really been taking so much bullet left, right, and all that. Why? Because, you all already know why. But then I keep telling people, I want you all to know that if you check Google today is 5th, if I am not mistaken. I am doing this video today is almost like 6th. Okay. Today is 6th. And I want you all to know that I still checked my Google to check who the president of the United States is. And it still says Joe Biden is your president. Why is it that you all are expecting her to be the president? Like, she is not yet the president. She is a presidential aspirant, right? But people already assume that she is the president of the United States. See, with everything going on, please call your president. Call him and tell him what you all are facing through. From now, he is still your president till November, not until after November. Then you find out who the new president is. But the way you all go about it, you make it look like he already handed everything over to Kamala Harris. You all can do better. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.